I'm Renee Marie Smith with FIFTV, a Trending 50 web series about the 50 entrepreneurial women in America. We are in the Miami Design District with Liz Roldan, News Director of CBS Miami. Hello Liz, thank you for joining us here today.
Thanks for having me.
So before we get into any kind of work or career information, share with our audience who is meeting you for the first time today, is there something you would like to mention about your hobbies or interests?
I think at the top of my list would have to be gardening. I absolutely love my garden. I never expected that I would. I've had it for about a year and a half, and there's not a free moment that I'm not out there. Every day, every morning, every evening. I can account for every bud, every weed, every leaning plant. I know when there's been water in certain places that there shouldn't be. I'm a little bit obsessive, I think, but I just love it. I absolutely love it.
You've been in journalism for several decades now, and of course you're at the pinnacle. You're the news director of a prestigious station here in Miami. Has it always been a straight trajectory for your career?
Well, so it's been 28 years, and I still feel like I just got here. It evolves over time. It's really interesting when you sort of take a look. Everything that I do is about evolution. And all I know is that I love telling stories. I love learning about people. I love learning about topics and things. And it's the creativity and the collaboration for me has been fantastic. I'm still the young journalist that was writing in my student high school newspaper for a 91-year-old nun named Sister Hillary, who inspired me beyond measure. I mean, I wish I could talk to her today. But it's evolved a lot. The technology has evolved. It's been very exciting, very, very interesting, all the different ways that you can tell stories. But what I love more than anything is the fact that it's not just the way that you tell the stories, but it's how. When I started, you couldn't tell stories on the telephone, and now you can, and I think that's fantastic.
You're being very modest by calling yourself a storyteller because you've earned 11 Emmys. Is there one of those Emmys or one of those stories that resulted in an Emmy that you want to share with our audience?
Well, I think the ones that stand out, and it's not everything that I've done, Renee, is collaboration. So nothing that I do is alone. I'm very, very fortunate to work with an amazing team of people now, and I've been really lucky throughout my career. My first Emmy had to do with Hurricane Andrew, so it was really meaningful for me, and I really feel like I didn't know what I was doing, and so it meant even more. Because I felt so lucky to have been able to put some stories on the air that meant something to someone. The most recent one was a documentary. It wasn't a story per se. It was a full documentary that we presented at CBS Miami without commercial presentation. We traveled a team to Auschwitz and with a group of Holocaust survivors from South Florida who were going back as part of the March of the Living program. The stories always mean a lot because people are trusting you with their life stories, but that was something completely, that was every attention to detail that we could pay, we had to pay it extra because we felt a real obligation to tell those stories with incredible respect.
In 2008, talking about stories was the year really that a lot changed in America. The real estate collapse, and a lot of people really saw their life change in that year. How did that year impact your life?
Dramatically, and I'm not one who likes a lot of drama. I like calm. In 2008, the television station I was working at was sold, and I had to go find another job, and the job that I found lasted 93 days. It was a business that was shut down by the federal government. So that was shocking, very destabilizing, and completely chaotic. I mean, complete chaos. And I found myself in trying to do something really stable for my family. I found myself having to deal with unemployment. For 9 months, I couldn't get a job anywhere, doing anything, and I tried it all. And I was really very fortunate. There was a gentleman in my life by the name of Charlie Cinnamon who helped me and introduced me to a group of women who needed a marketing and PR person. I'd never done anything but straight up television news my entire life. But I was a really hard worker, and I was really motivated to do anything I could to provide for my family. I had pretty much lost everything I had except for my house. And so they were 4 angels: Charlie, Toby, Stephanie, and Eliza. And they really saved my life, and that's how I looked at it. And they hired me, and I went to do PR and marketing for a theater in Miami Shores, and I did it for 1.5 years, and I learned a lot. I learned a lot about PR and marketing. I learned a lot about myself. I learned that, you know, when you have to dig deep and everything falls to hell, you know, you learn who your friends are and you learn who you can count on. But I learned primarily that I'm a survivor. And it was a really tough time, but it helped me immensely.
You know, and that's really an important point, because, you know, when we start out in our careers, you know, you do it on faith and you believe your career is going to continue to go up, but it doesn't always, you know. So if you were going to give advice to a woman that was going to enter the journalism field, what advice would you give her based on all these life experiences you've had?
Be open to not just to opportunity, because I think that's what a lot of people come into any career with, is just, oh, everything is going to be great, and as long as I'm willing to, you know, I'm going to go forward. And sometimes you have to go sideways, and sometimes you have to go down to kind of figure out who you are. And all you can do is pivot, adapt, and move forward. You always have to move forward.
You have such a strong voice in your industry and community. Where would you like to see your impact?
Well, you know, first and foremost, I'm a mother. You know, I have 2 children. I have a 21-year-old and an 18-year-old, and so one's in university, one's about to be. I'm always looking for opportunities to make sure that they feel confident and willing to take chances. You know, because if you don't take chances, if you don't have faith in yourself, things get very limited very quickly. So I take enormous joy now. I do a lot. I speak at a lot of events. I mentor a lot of people from high school, college, my own college. I speak at a lot of different conferences, and I'm constantly, sure, email me, call me, text me, whatever it is. Let's talk. Send me your reel. Send me your resume. I want to look at it so that I can help you. Because I want people who are, if you're interested, if you're engaged, you may not have the knowledge necessarily, but I can't ever teach you how to be willing. And if you are hungry for something, you will find a way. And sometimes you just have to align yourself with people who over time will help you get there. And so my voice, that's what I want to use my voice for, you know, is show you that you may not get there today, you may not get there tomorrow, but if you are willing, you will get there.
One of the goals for Trending 50 is to start a discussion about how women define success. How does Liz define success?
I think of success, I think in a little bit of a different way. I think of success as choice. You know, you have a choice. You have a choice to make every single day, you know? And listen, let's not paint this rosy picture. Work is hard. It can be very challenging. It can be very, not only demanding, but it can be all-consuming. And I've been very fortunate. I've had amazing people in my life that have mentored me along the way. When I got this job, someone that I respect more than, I think she's an incredible person. She said to me, just remember, you're 24 hours responsible, you're not 24 hours available. And so that's how I define success is, and it takes time to understand what that means, and not just understand it, but to live it. And so I have a choice in how I approach my life, my garden, my children, my family. I have a lot more to me than just my work. I love my work. My work is incredible, and I'm really, really grateful for the opportunity every single day, because we do have an enormous platform, and we can use it. Of course, you have to, I work in the news business. We tell people what's happening, but we also have an opportunity to engage people and introduce them to other individuals, other organizations, other elements of our community that you may not necessarily know. And so I have the choice to use my platform and my job in that way. I want to be able to affect change at a very one-on-one level, but also from a much broader perspective. That's success to me.
That's inspiring too. Thank you, Liz, for being with us here today.
Oh, thanks so much for having me.
This is Renee Marie Smith. Thank you for watching FIFTV, a Trending 50 web series. If you enjoyed the video, hit like and share.